Have you ever seen those luxury picnics and wondered like, wow, those tables are nice? Well, I'm gonna show you how to make one right now. This all began when a client messaged me on Facebook saying they wanted two giant tables. All right, let's take a little trip to Lowe's and I'll show you the process and all of the materials of what all we need to get. Let's go on the project panel aisle, and on this aisle we're gonna get 1 inch by 16 inch by 8 feet boards. We're gonna get two of these. Make sure when you get these boards that you get the ones that have a straight edge, because if not, they're not gonna come together once you glue the panels together. I picked up these brackets right here for the table legs. It was a big mistake, and I'm gonna show you why later. Let's get to the table legs. Now the table legs, you're gonna need four 14-inch table legs for this picnic table, because you know they do sit low, so you don't need the really high ones. Now the customer chose this color called golden oak, which gives it this boho style color. Next, it's time to select some boards for the cross bracing of these tables underneath. The most tedious part about working with wood is choosing boards that's straight, that's not bowed, and doesn't have any cups in it. And I went through all of these boards and I found one, the best one that I can find. It was semi-cup, but I'm gonna show you why later, why you shouldn't get cup or bowed boards. Finally, I was able to find a board that was decent. Had a slight cup in it, but things still didn't go right with it. But I'm gonna show you how. Now it's time to load up all the materials for this picnic table. Shout out to my camera person, who's my daughter. She shoots all my videos and handles the camera whenever I'm not using a tripod. Say hi to the people, Zoe.
Hi people, my Instagram.
Hey. This is my video. Thank you. You can get out now. Sorry about that, people. And now it's time for the build. Okay, let's get to cutting these boards. I wanted to cut these boards into 3 sections. They are 6 feet, so 3 sections would make them each 24 inches. Also, what I'm going to do is cut these boards in half the long way. They are 6 inches, so I'm going to cut them to 3 inches. As you can see, this is where I'm cutting the boards in half. And while I was cutting this one in half, the first one went through fine, but the second one did not. And this is due to the cupping that I was speaking on earlier when you're selecting the boards, because that cupping can cause the blade to get pinched by the wood, and which makes it hard to cut the wood all the way through. And if you're not careful, it'll cause a kickback, which is very dangerous. A kickback is where the blade will throw the wood back towards you, and you don't want to be in the way of that. So let's get to the glue up of the two wood panels that are 1 by 16 by 8 feet. You can do that by running a bead of glue from one edge of the panel all the way to the other end of the panel. This is where we go ahead and join those two boards together. The 16 by 8 boards, and you're going to need maybe something like a parallel clamps, preferably 2, at least 2, in order to do this correctly. And you also got to make sure that everything is flush when you do join these boards, because if not, one side of the table is going to be higher than the other one, and you don't want that. And after that process, all you got to do is tighten up the parallel clamps. Don't put too much pressure, or else you'll cause a bow in the table. So just light pressure when you are doing these boards. even with each other, so you don't have one raised side of the table and the other side is lower. Here's a picture of the glue up. Alright, remember those cross braces that I cut and I had issues with. So now I'm putting the cross braces on the underside of the table. Do not put these on the top side or the good side of the table. You're going to be very, very upset. So I made sure that I put one probably about 20 inches from the end on both ends. And I glued them underneath, and then I screwed them to the table. So after everything is dry, now it's time for one of the most important parts. And, and this is what makes your table safe to the touch. I need to route the edge with a round over bit, so that way people don't get splinters or the edges are too sharp and it's uncomfortable for people sitting around the table. So I'll go around the whole table with the router, which kind of give it a round over or rounded edge. This part I hate, this is the sanding part. You have to wear a mask. Please wear a mask. If you don't, you're going to have bad allergies. This part right here was a complete and utter waste of time. These are the brackets for the table legs. I just hate I even did it this way. I had a bright idea that I can do it this way. I should have went with my original idea, but I wanted to try something different, and it turned out bad. But let's proceed. So right here, I'm screwing in these table legs into those brackets, trying to get them as tight as I can without stripping any screws or anything like that on the legs. Let's get to the finish of this table. Right here, I'm spraying it with polyurethane. It's water-based. It'll give it like this nice sheen look that you want on the table. Nothing too shiny. About the brackets. So I went to go set up the table on the ground and the legs broke. They broke. I can't believe it. It was a waste of time, a whole day wasted. And I tried to fix it, but it was useless to fix these. See right here, this hole right here, this is where it screws in. See on this one, that's where it screws in. That came out on the other one. Just a waste of time. I was so disappointed. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and uninstall this mess of a situation. Also notice that I've been fooling with my camera and using different qualities. This is the high definition. I really like this one. I think I'm gonna go with this, but throughout the video I'm going to switch throughout. So let's get this off of here. I'm glad I had enough time to complete this project and go through the mistakes. But my mistakes is your learning lesson or a teaching moment. So what I did right here, I drilled a hole to where the table legs can go, because the table legs have like a screw on the tip to where they actually screw into the brace. So I drilled a hole so the screw can fit in there. Alright, so I had this bright idea right here to go ahead and put pocket holes in the legs. So what I'm gonna do is put pocket holes on maybe four sides, and I'm going to screw them directly into the wood. And after I remove all of these plates off of here, these plates are stupid. Lowe's, you owe me my money back. So I'm gonna glue the ends of these table legs and make sure I place that screw right in that hole where I drilled it at. And I'm going to go ahead and screw the table legs in with this with the pocket hole. One thing that I did notice was when the table leg broke, how the table kind of sagged in the middle. So what I did is I installed like a bracket or a brace that I made. I used scrap pieces of wood and 2x4s to make this bracket. And there you have it, the 8-foot by 32-inch boho style picnic table. Very simple to make. And thank y'all for sticking with me through this process.